What's going on, guys? Mr. Hunter here with your second grade math lesson for today. We're going to be working out of pages 269 and 270. So page 269, 270, you should have that for your worksheet. Put the name at the top and the date as always. We're going to be looking at writing the differences, looking at our ruler. So make sure you have your ruler for today. We're going to be working with some math and then multiplication and division. Guess what? You guys are getting the full gauntlet. You're going to be able to do so much as you move on into third grade. So I hope you're excited. Keep practicing these facts. I know we're going to go through it in a second, but keep practicing even over the summer. There's some work that you may be able to do on your own, looking up different assignments, figuring out how you can just remember the facts that you've been learning. You don't want to go into next year and lose everything that you've worked so hard to understand this year. So continue to practice, continue to put in the effort and the work on your own, so that when you go to school next year, you'll pick up right where you left off. Okay, so let's look at number one. Now, here's what we're going to do. I went over some of these problems the other day for all of you. Mackenzie, Ruby, you've been in class watching YouTube, Michael, Solomon, Ada, Naomi. What I want you to do, I want you to try to do these problems on your own, okay? On your own. And what I mean by that is, it says for the first problem, 8,000 minus 6,476. And some of you may say, well, how do I do that? How do I do that? I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and I'm not going to write the whole thing for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a second. You have 8,000, and then it's minus 6,400 and what? 76, 4,076. When you're doing problems like this, it can be very confusing. It can be very confusing because you know that you can't take 6 from 0. So what do you have to do? You have to borrow from this. You have to borrow from 0. How do you borrow from 0? You're going to cross that out, and now you make this a 10. But if you borrow from that, you got to borrow from that 0. And so you make this a 10. But you can't make it a 10. You've already borrowed 1 10. So now instead of becoming a 10, these two zeros right here, they're going to become 9s. They're going to become 9s. And you actually have to borrow from this 8 right here. So you're going to have to borrow from all 3 of these numbers just to start here. So the first time you borrow, you can make it a 10. But after that, when you borrow, it's going to be 9. It's going to be 9. So this 0 is going to be a 9. This 0 is going to be 9. And this 8 is going to be a 7. So now you have a 7, 9, 9, and a 10, subtracting all of this. But it's called the borrowing factor. You have to borrow. And if you can't borrow from this one, you got to go all the way down and borrow from the last one and then bring them all over. So really, it's kind of confusing, but I want to see how you work that. Guess what, guys? 8,000 minus 646. When you do the next problem, you're going to implement the same thing that I just told you. You have to borrow from the 5 all the way down. So it's 5,000 minus 400, or 4,138. 138. But guess what? You can't take 8 from 0. You can't take 3 from 0. You can't take 1 from 0. So you got to go all the way down, make that a 4, and then this becomes a 9. That becomes a 9. That becomes a 10. All right. I've kind of told you how to do it, but just because I'm telling you, I'm not even showing you the work. You're going to have to figure out how exactly to do it on your own, because this is work that we were doing and we kind of got through it, but I want to see if you guys can do this on your own. If you bring it to class tomorrow in the Zoom and you say, Mr. Hunter, I was confused, I don't understand, I will stop and we'll review it and go over it so we can make sure that we have that particular lesson down as we move forward to the end of the year. I don't want you to not feel confident about doing that. I know it seems confusing. It's a lot of zeros. It's a lot of borrowing, but you guys can do it. And once you get the skill set, you'll realize, hey, this is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. So breathe. We're in math. Take your time. Relax. Have some water by you. I told you guys, I got my water always. And what you're going to do is take that problem one at a time and use the same formula for the first problem, for the second problem, and for the third problem. Okay? Let's look at number 2. This is where your ruler is going to come in handy, all right? It says how many inches. The important part about this is you need to make sure you're looking at the right side. You may actually use your ruler and you say, oh, I got it. But remember, inches abbreviated on a ruler is INCH. Has a little period at the end for abbreviation. For centimeters, it has a C and an M, then it has an abbreviation. So you don't want to move too fast and use the wrong side of the ruler, and then make sure your ruler is lined up correctly to the very beginning where the line is, and do it properly. Because if you're off just a little bit, you may write a number and you may say, oh, that's 4.5, and it might have just been 4. Or it might be 4.5 and you only write 4. So make sure your ruler is lined up absolutely correctly so that when I'm looking at it and you're seeing it, everything lines up. You don't get it wrong. That's really what we want. We want to make sure we're using the rulers properly. So you're doing that for number 2. Number 3, Now you're going to be using centimeters. So you're going to be using the other side, the cm, and like we just said, it's the opposite of the INCH for inches. So make sure you're paying attention to the rule. I think they're trying to show you the sizes and how to use a ruler properly. Number 4, you start at the left and then you color the 4th tenth and the 6th tenth orange. So Mackenzie, if you're looking at this worksheet, it says start at the left. So you know your left. And then it says color the 4th tenth blue. What do you have to do? You just have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Count to the 4th tenth. When you get to the 4th tenth, what are you coloring? Blue. All right, Ruby, Solomon. Now it says the second part. It says color the 4th tenth blue and the 6th tenth orange. So you go back to the beginning if you need to, and you count to 6. And the 6th tenth is what you count orange, okay? Make sure you're starting at the beginning. Make sure you don't get confused in there. It seems pretty simple, but I've seen people get these problems wrong because they what? They move too fast. All right, number 5, it says write the time. These are Roman numerals, but the facts don't change just because it's Roman numerals. The minutes on the outside, they still go by 5. So you still go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and we end up with 60. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the little hand. What number is the little hand on? You got to look carefully. What number is that? If you have a V and you have 3 I's behind it, what does that mean? That's V means 5, and 3 I's equals what? 3. So 5 plus 3 is what? It's 8. If you didn't know that, you can look at a regular clock with the numbers and look at where the number is and you'll see what that is. You say, oh, that down there with the V and the I, that's a 6. So if I just go 2 up, that's going to be 8. So you have an 8 o'clock, and then the big hand is pointed at what? I'm not going to tell you. You guys should know that, but that's going to be the clock. All right. For number 6, it says write the missing numbers. Write the missing numbers. We've done this before, but I'm going to show you another way to do it again. Okay. So write the missing numbers. How do we know what we have here? All right. The problem is blank plus 3 equals 14. Blank plus 3. We don't know what it is. Blank. Let me write it correctly. Blank plus 3 equals 14. So we don't know what's in that blank, but you know what we do? We take the answer, which is 14, and we subtract 3. So that's how we do it. And when we subtract 3, what do we get? We get 11. So what is this blank going to be now? It's not going to be a blank. It's going to be 11. 11 plus 3 equals 14. And we found our answer by taking the answer and subtracting the number there. That's what you can do for these problems, okay? You can take these problems. Now, it's not always going to work like that. It's not always going to work like that. What if we have this one? We have blank. I did it again. Sorry, guys. I have blank minus 5 equals 10. Okay, so something minus 5 equals 10. So when we have a minus there, we don't do 10 minus 5. That's going to give us 5. So what we have to do is we have to take that 10 and we add we take the answer and we add the number that's left. So if blank minus 5 equals 10, 10 plus 5 equals what? 10 plus 5 equals 15. Oh, so that's how we find it. So let's see if it matches up. 15 minus 5, is that 10? Then we've got our answer. So that's how you can do. You always take the answer, and if it's a plus, like a blank plus 3 equals 14, then you're going to take 14 minus 3. You're going to take the answer and minus the number. But if you have a number blank minus 5, then you have to take the numbers and you have to add them together, okay? Really, really cool concept, really cool way to figure out those types of problems. At the bottom for number 7, it says finish the counting patterns. So we have to identify how much they're going up by or how much they're going down by. From the looks of it, we have 78, 81, 84. So to me, it seems like the numbers are going up. Do you guys agree? Yes, the numbers are going up. The addition problems are going up. So we have 78, 81, 84. How much were they going up by? Between 78 and 81. So we have 78. So 78, then we go 79, 80, 81. Oh, they went up 3 from 78 to 81. Let's see if they did the same thing from 81 to 84. So you have 81, you go 82, 83, 84. Wait, so the first 2, they went up by 3. So what do you think we have to do? We have to go up by 3. So what's 3 more than 4? You don't even have to look at the 8. What's 3 more than 4? You have 4. If you add 3 more, it's 5, 6, 7. So what are we going to do? We're going to write 7? No, we're going to write 87 because we only added 3 to the 4. 87. Then you have to add 3 to 87. You guys understand? That's how you're going to do that problem. Really simple. For the bottom one, Don't move too fast. This is where some of you get in trouble because we counted by 3 at the top, but it's not the same pattern at the bottom. This pattern, we have to look. So it says 57, 67, 77. Ooh, I think I know how much they're counting by. Do you guys recognize? They didn't change the 7. All they changed was the number in front of it. So that's the tens place. So we're counting by tens. So 57, 67, 77. What's after 7? What number is right after 7, Ruby? Mackenzie. Okay, you got 87. What number is right after 8, Mackenzie? 9. Yes, 97. So yeah, 56, 50, 67, 77, 87, 97. The next two are a little bit more difficult. And that's why I'm going to let you do that on your own. All right, turn the page to 270 on the back. Number 1, it says you're going to write the sums for the addition twins. So you have 2 addition twins. Guess what? 4 plus 8. What is that? It's 12. Now, if we flip the numbers and put 8 at the top and 4 at the bottom, is that going to be different? No, it's going to be the same answer. The thing is, it's trying to confuse you. And it may look simple right now. You say, Mr. Hunter, this is not hard. This is easy. But on a test, what they will do is they will put that first problem, 4 plus 8, as number 1. And then when you get to the 6th problem, they'll put 8 plus 4, and it's confusing you. And you'll say, why? They're going to try to trick you to see if you're paying attention, to see if you're identifying the patterns quickly. Sometimes you'll blow right through it. It won't be a problem at all. But sometimes you'll get stuck. You may get tripped up, and that's where you get it wrong. So what does Mr. Hunter say all the time in math? Take your time. It's not a race. It's not a rush. You guys can do it. Breathe. All right? That's what you're going to be doing for that. Number 2, it says write the products and the multiplication twins for the products. So it's the same thing except it's multiplication. Wow. I think that needs no explanation. You guys know what to do there. Number 3, I was really happy with you all. You did this very well the other day. This is number 3. It says, write the number of bills and coins needed to make the amount. Use the fewest pieces of money. So the dollar amount that you need to get is $6.59. So what you're going to do is write how much that you need of each coin or dollar bill underneath in the blanks there. And then it all has to add up to $6.59. You guys, I'm not even going to explain to you. You guys did very well with this on last week. I believe it was last Wednesday. You guys did very well with this, and there were no issues. So I trust that you're going to do well. But if you have a question, again, as always, let me know tomorrow. Raise your hand. I can go over that with you. All right. Number 4, something similar we did on our test recently. It says circle the bills and coins needed for each amount. So the first amount that we need to get is $3.58. So again, we have to identify how much money that we need. How many dollars do we need? It says $3. So how many dollars do we circle? We circle 3 $1 bills. Okay, now we need 58 cents. How can we get 58 cents? How much is a quarter worth? How much is a nickel worth? How much are pennies worth? You have to do that yourself. I want you guys to figure out the quarters, the dimes, and the pennies. But the $3, you can start there. You know that you have $3 that you have to circle. And then looking at the other problem, same thing, $7.91. Let's figure out how much money we have to circle using the smallest amount. So if you see a 5 in there, you have $5, you need $7. How much more money do you need? You need 2 1s. So you have a $5 bill circle and 2 $1 bill circle. Now you have to get 91 cents. It's a lot of change. And you have to figure out how to do that by adding up the quarters, the dimes, nickels, pennies, whatever it is you need. You have to be able to circle it and circle it properly. Don't go over, and don't not get enough money. All right? Never, always get enough money. Always. That's a lesson for you when you get older. All right. Last but not least, number 5, it says write greater than, less than, or equal. You have to identify which of these numbers is greater than or equal. Okay. So some of it's going to require you to do some adding and some subtracting. Some of you, it's just going to require you to look and say, I know that's more. All right. Don't move too quickly on this one either. It seems simple, but you can get tripped up easily. All right. And guys, just like that, that is our math lesson for today. I'm going backwards. May 26th, 2020, pages 269 and 270. I hope you guys enjoyed your lesson today. It says something at the top of your page about the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I'm going to put a little video in there to kind of show you what that's about too. Pretty cool exercise, a pretty cool video for you guys for doing all this hard work. All right. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.